It just seemed like another really good third period. There's a chance you guys could sit back in a 2-1 lead, and it just looked like you were very aggressive coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, good third period like the other night. Listen, it's a good formula when you're playing from in front against that team, as opposed to behind. They're a tough team to play from behind against. So, but I liked how we handled having the lead all night. We kept our foot on the gas. Huge power play goal, big kill at the end there too. And I thought our 5-on-6 was excellent. When you think about, we hold the record for giving up. How many goals do we give up in that one
like
game?
In a minute, right? 3 in a minute or something like that.
Yeah, 3 in a minute. 51 seconds. So we're 5-on-6 in NHL history late in the season. So we've obviously fixed that.
Tim?
Yeah, before you got Miko, you got Granlund, and he had some nice games for you. It seems like forever ago, but just how big is his addition? He's kind of been a secondary role because of what Miko's done.
Yeah.
How important has he been for you?
Yeah, we were just talking in there. That's a great point, Tim. Like the Granlund CC trade, both those guys, invaluable contributions. I thought CC was outstanding tonight for us, and Granny, led the way. The thing about him is he really, what he does on the ice is one thing, but the guy oozes leadership. Our Finnish group there, he's kind of the elder statesman of that group. He's won internationally. He's got a lot of respect amongst that group of guys, and he really is fantastic leadership.
Pete, right over here. And just your thoughts on seeing Miro back there, and just what's your expectation on just how gradual you think you guys are going to increase his minutes?
Yeah. Well, he hasn't played in 42 games since late January. It's the first time I've ever seen him not catch a guy on a breakaway, so you can tell he's been out a while. But I thought it was a perfect night. He got 15 minutes in, made a huge play for us on the power play. You can see what he has, just his composure and patience with the puck. So it's hard not to play him more. We've got to fight that urge. But talking to him after he got through the game, and he feels good, so mission accomplished.
Pete, how grateful are you to the country of Finland? In all seriousness, what do you think is going to, Jake said that you're gonna see Winnipeg's best game of the season in Game 5.
Yeah.
What's going to be the key to going up there and getting that series win on their home?
Well, and listen, that's a good point. I didn't mention Jake. He was probably our best player tonight. He was so solid. He made a lot of really tough saves look easy, and the breakaway save was the save. It was the turning point of the night. They score there, the momentum flips, and who knows what happens down the stretch. So he was fantastic. Listen, we know what we're going into there. We've won on the road before in there. We won on the road in Colorado, which is an intimidating rink too. So I think our group's comfortable on the road, but you got to go and get it done, and it's always hard to send a team home for the summer.
Maybe. Power play's been really good all playoffs. I know kind of throughout the season some ups and downs, but what do you think's clicking now?
Yeah, both special teams have been excellent. Power play's been if you take out the first 2.5 months of the season, where we were bottom of the league, we were really struggling. It might be the best in the league over the rest of that time, or right up there. So, our special teams. Listen, when we lost Miro and Robertson, we needed our special teams to be difference makers every night, and our goaltender, and all those things have happened to allow us to be in the spot we're in right now, or we don't get through Colorado and to the point we're at right now.
Maybe Miro talked about the challenge of getting back from the injury and the injury itself. It's obviously not something you do alone. What did you see from his teammates during that whole stretch?
Well, let's start with his team of trainers that we have here, and doctors and people that worked with him. I mean, a huge effort by that group every day, pushing him to get back behind the scenes. You know, we come in early in the morning as coaches. He was the first guy there all the time, getting his work done before everyone else showed up. So, you know, he gets a lot of credit for that too, because he pushed himself, but he had a lot of people in his corner pushing him. Yeah, I mean, the team, I think everyone knows how important he is to our group. I think, you know, we kind of took the approach that, you know, we can't be concerned about that, you know, until he's back in the lineup. We've got to find a way. And, you know, we stumbled around a little bit. You know, it wasn't pretty for portions of the 42 games he was out, but we you know, the group found a way. You have to give him credit.
Hey Pete, I know obviously Miro, Robo still working their way back in, but what are you seeing and feeling from your group about finally having this group whole?
Yeah, well, it's great to have that lineup. I mean, just to write that lineup on your board, on your lineup card, to have those options for the first time since January, and really for the first time ever, because we hadn't made those trades yet, you know. So, you know, tonight was the first night we've actually had our full team together, and everyone's still not 100%, but nice feeling to have. I hope we can keep everybody in a healthy place, or we can keep this going for a little bit.
We'll do 2 more questions, sir.
I think you said when it came to Heiskanen, you were just waiting for the doctors to give it the okay.
Yeah.
Can you take us behind the scenes? Did you allow yourself a little fist pump or something when you finally
Yeah.
got the news?
Well, he flew to New York yesterday, met with a surgeon. You know, it was kind of a final sign off. Yeah, I mean, when I got the text message that the surgeon had signed off and thought the knee looked great, and there was nothing else, no other hurdles to clear. That's really the first time you start, you know, thinking about him returning to your lineup, and then you got to temper that enthusiasm a little bit, knowing that, you know, he's still not where he was when he left the lineup, but I don't think it's going to take him long to get back.
Hey Pete, kind of along those same lines, what do you think his return does for the morale of this group? How did that translate on the
Yeah.
ice, and how timely is it at
Yeah,
this point?
big boost. I mean, you know, I got goosebumps when the crowd cheered when they announced his name. You know, that's a great shot of energy for our group tonight. You know, tonight it's always toughest to win 2 in a row. I think Tim was saying that in our press conference the other night. But you know, to beat a team 2 times in a row was really tough. You knew they were going to push. They pushed hard. You know, I thought they played hard all night. So, you know, we needed a little bit of a shot of energy, and we got it from Miro, we got it from Granlund, we got it from Otter.
Okay, thanks, Pete.
Thank you.